UFC continues to power on. Dana, let's chit-chat about some news that broke over the weekend, and then that'll obviously span into a conversation about a great friend of yours. Conor McGregor and Michael Chandler shared a tweet in a bond over a feeling of the things that took place in Butler, Pennsylvania, whenever President Trump was shot at by a sniper who's 20 years old from Bethel Park, Pennsylvania. Michael Chandler said, "We stand united on this one," where Conor McGregor said, "This billionaire could be doing anything. Instead, he's eating bullets right now trying to run for president." And then Conor McGregor replied to Michael Chandler. He said, "I talked to Dana today about our new date. All looking good, 24 for sure." Now, obviously, the history between Conor and Chandler is very long, and people have been waiting for this fight for a long time. Is this tweet accurate? And what are your thoughts on the buzz that this fight still has? Has to be a good thing.
Yeah, so, I'm in Italy right now, and I was flying over here, and I was sleeping on the plane, and my wife woke me up and told me that somebody shot President Trump. And, obviously, very, very close, good friends of mine. So I started freaking out, and I grabbed my phone. I had like 350 text messages, so I was just trying to figure out what was going on with him. And then Conor was one of the guys that reached out to me about him. Obviously a support and, taking a shot at the president. Some of the things that are being said, it's like, this is a former president and a candidate. I mean, imagine if somebody took a shot at Biden or Obama or Clinton. It's like, this is our president. It's, you know what I mean? If it happened to anybody, any of our presidents, every American on earth should be horrified by this and disgusted and upset and angry. What is the question you asked me about the fight?
No, it was an attack on the United States for sure. That's how you have to feel about it. And I think a lot of people did. And I think almost more unification than I could have imagined afterwards with how everybody kind of was like, this is bullshit. Not everybody. Obviously, there's going to be people that aren't. But with that came the conversation of Conor and Chandler. And we'll definitely talk more about you and President Trump and everything like that. But the Conor McGregor and Chandler thing that spurred from this entire conversation led a lot of us who are excited for that fight to take place think to ourselves, okay, here we go. Is it going to happen? And do you think there will become a time where that fight is real? And is 2024 going to be the time?
Yeah, that's the fight that needs to happen. We've been waiting for it. It's an awesome fight. It's a fun fight. And as of sitting here right now, no, I don't have a date for it or a plan or anything like that. And obviously, me, the fans, and ESPN would love it to happen in 24, but we'll see what happens.
Okay, sweet. And let's talk about another big day you have coming together, Mexican Independence Day at the Sphere. How deep is that card into being created and made? And what are your thoughts on how the Sphere is going to look for a UFC fight? We've been in there.
Yep.
We saw the U2 concert.
Yes.
We didn't know any of the songs.
None.
We didn't really, we are on a lot of edibles, obviously, because there's a lot of, we got like 120 milligrams coming in, you know what I mean? Right down the dome. Mm-hmm. We're living in the Sphere, we're doing that entire thing. But obviously with the way the seats move, in the air, in the wind, in the LED, and then if you were to put a fight in there, you told us this before we even went in there, you're like, I'm going to put on the greatest live event in the history of combat sports or something like that. That's slowly, seemingly making its way to being fruition here on Mexican Independence Day. How far along in the planning of that are we, and what should we expect out of that thing?
Yeah, we're deep into it. You guys, listen, I would love to hear your assessment of the Sphere. When I went there, it's crazy because the way this whole thing lined up, Tom Brady called me and said, "You want to go see U2?" And I was like, "Yeah, when is it?" He's like, "This weekend. It's at the Sphere." So we end up going, and 20 minutes into it, I'm blown away by, everything. I start to realize U2 is not the star of this show. The Sphere is the star of this show,
yes.
Right?
Yes.
And I'm like, I'm doing this. I'm going to be the first guy to ever do a live sporting event from the Sphere. So I called my head of production, Craig Borsari, and I said, I don't know what you're doing next weekend, but cancel it. You and your guys are going to the Sphere. I want you to see this. We're going to do an event here. What did you think of the Sphere? I was blown away by it.
Yeah, the Sphere was the show. We didn't think U2 knew that. We didn't, you know what I mean? We didn't, that was our kind of takeaway. Mm-hmm. But there was a lot of diehard U2 fans in there too.
For sure.
And shout out to them. That was an incredible show. It was Super Bowl week, so there was a lot of people that maybe were just coming to do the Sphere. So I think there was a little field situation there maybe early in the week. But the Sphere was the show. Like, it's 8K seemingly all around you. The suites are sweet.
So nice.
It's everything set up perfectly.
Maybe use it a little more, maybe.
Yes.
Yeah, a little
For
little
sure.
more.
But are you going to want people to sit down, though? Isn't, like, the seats in the suite a part of it? Have you thought about that?
Yeah, so you're going to have the people that are in the seats, the people that are in the suites, and then the bottom level where people are actually standing and will watch the whole thing standing room only. And then there will be bleachers and seats, and it's going to be I'm already $17 million into this thing, and we're not anywhere near September yet. So when I tell you guys, when I say that I'm going to put on the greatest live sporting event in the history of combat sports, maybe in sports, period, nobody else is going to go in and spend it. Like, let's say U2 spends, I don't know, I'm just throwing this out there. I don't know what they spend. Let's say they spend, $30 million. That's across 40 nights. I'm going in one night, one time.
Yeah.
That's it. Never again. And that's why I keep telling you guys, it's going to be the most unique, badass, incredible show that you've ever seen in sports.
Okay, we're doing performances, musical performances.
Oh, hell no. I don't do that stuff.
Oh,
No,
you're
no.
just doing fighting. We're doing fighting. We are fighting the whole.
That's why- Listen, it's Mexican Independence Day. When you think about fighting and the history of fighting, some of the baddest human beings that have ever walked the face of the earth have been Mexicans, right? And Mexicans, it's Mexican Independence Day. And when you think about the history of combat in Mexico, you realize their flag is a battle between like a serpent and an eagle. Their flag is the only flag that actually has a fight on it in conflict. The Mexican people are hardworking. They love their family. They've been fighting since the beginning of time. Their whole culture has been about. I was in Mexico City. We just did a fight down there recently, right? We're driving to the arena for the fight, and I shit you not, there's a playground there. They got swing sets and the monkey bars and all the shit, and there's a boxing ring in the middle of the playground. Next time I see you in person, I'm going to show you this video. I literally started filming it out the window.
That's awesome.
So when you think about what a tough, durable, hardworking group of people the Mexican people are, boxing is just so ingrained in their history. And like I say, some of the biggest legends of all time in combat sports have come out of Mexico. So this is a love letter to the people of Mexico, their history, who they are, and where they come from.
Okay, so that's a theme of the evening, obviously, on Mexican Independence Day. We're excited for that. How many fights are going to be on the card? Do you know that?
We're going to do 10.
10? Is it going to be like a fight week type? Like what type of card? Because you got to balance, right? Main events. But if you have 5 main events, how many main events? Or are you not worried about that?
There'll be a main and co-main, and obviously this card will be very Mexican heavy.
Okay. All right, we're excited to watch.